What's up, guys, and welcome to my second plays locals this past weekend, Unchained deck profile. Wanted to take as pure as Unchained as I could get to say local, especially with Shavara being back at 2, and honestly, Unchained is pretty damn good this format. Obviously, this build doesn't have any Fiendsmith or nothing like that, so I mean, I've never been a big fan of the Fiendsmith package, and that's my personal taste. I like running the pure variants and not just hot, let's say like an engine pile. But yeah, without further ado, let's just jump right in. Of course, Unchained, we're back at the normal 3 Ashua. S.A. Ruha, this is like the only 3 out of the chain names you get. Honestly, you can cut it down 2 if you prefer, but honestly, running that 3 worked out perfectly. Then the 2 ofs, 1 Rakea, I mean 2 Rakea, then 2 of the Sarama. I still like Sarama at 2. Always been a softie with Sarama, but honestly, these are like the 2 ofs. These are like the old Unchained names. Now we're gonna go to the new ones. Of course, the newly at 2, hopefully at 3 next ban list, Shavara, again, just being at 2 brings so much more ceiling to the deck just by its base form. So it's not. Also, you get the 1 Shayama, let's say a blue dog as well. And then, of course, I do run the 1 Unchained Soul as well. I don't run any of the dog in this deck, so I'll say no Soul Disaster in this build because honestly, you just don't need it. Next, 3 Prison, standard and stuff, nothing too crazy with that. I did run the 1 Wailing. Honestly, Wailing you can cut if you want, but honestly I just like it being able to get a free pop and destruction is just always super annoying. And then of course we do have the 2 Chamber and the 2 Escape, standard. I cut them down a little bit to make room for non-engine. The engine that instead of Fiendsmith that I just like running, I didn't run Tour Guide no more, but I wanted to test out the Magical Musketeer engine. So 3 Starfire and the 1 Calamity. Honestly, this engine is pretty dope and kind of insane. Like, if you don't want to spend as much money to get the Fiendsmith package, especially since, say, Tracked hasn't gotten reprinted yet, and it's still like a $60, $80 card depending on the buyer, seller, this is a great substitute. Because it honestly just gives that advantage that you need that Fiendsmith would give you without, like, a certain disruption. But honestly, insane. Like, the, say Magical Musketeer's engine is nuts. I also did run the DD package, so 2 of the Vice Requiem, just an instant Caliuga is super annoying to deal with, and of course we have the 3 say contract cards to get pops and stuff like that to get their effects going, and also to search this out. So that's the DD engine. Non-engine, 3 Ash, generic stuff, 3 Droll. These are like the main deck hand traps. These can get swapped out with whatever you want, and of course we have the 3 Imperm. These are like the 9 main deck hand traps that I wanted to run, so because it kind of hits the most stuff generically. Then the last 3 ofs, the last 3 cards of the deck are kind of like the hand trap, anti-hand trap, of course, Talents, Cross Out, and of course Call by the Grave, kind of like just stopping hand traps in general, say Flunderies and fun stuff like that. Extra deck. The 1 only Synchro, we can make Chaos Angel. It's just super annoying for some decks to deal with, and honestly, it's just a big boy and it helps push for games, so pretty good. 1 Photon Strike Bouncer. Usually you'll go into good old, say High King Caesar, but he's a good alternative, especially if you can just keep extending into him, which is pretty dope. Of course, you have the Stone King that can, say not going to High King. High King usually just go into Alpha Shavara and fun stuff like that. But High King is another way to go into, say, Deuce Machinex. Honestly, this guy might get cut because now that we have the DD engine, you can just easily make it off in Vice. But honestly, King Darius is still interesting. Just a way to go into, in case you have level 3s you don't need, you can go into the Deuce Machinex and all that fun stuff like that. That's like our little like C's package that we have with that. Of course, the 1 say Musketeer Max guy is nuts for the say Magical Musketeer package. Like, it's broken. Generic links, SP Little Knight. It's just the best link. Say generic link too. Say Moon close Heaven Gates and close second for it, because honestly, being able to use your opponent's monsters to help go into your Underworld Goddess is honestly insane. Say no A Bow or nothing like that, because honestly, it's a great card. You get a free disruption on your opponent's turn, but honestly, it's just extra deck space is so tight with it. So, I mean, if you want, you can easily. I mean, if you don't run the Magical Musketeer package, you can take this out for an A Bow, but honestly, this got me to what I needed. Then of course you have the Unchained stuff, 1 Abomination, your big boy here, 1 Anguish, then of course you have your 2 Rage. The 2 Rages are just nuts. Like, that's probably the best card besides good old Lord Yama. But yeah, that's it for the Unchained. Super cool, super fun as well, and honestly, pure Unchained is still kind of is rocks. Not gonna lie, pure Unchained is kind of dope, and it just, especially with hopefully say Shavara coming back to 3 next ban list, hopefully just puts it to a whole new ceiling. And obviously, if you want to keep pushing this deck completely all the way up to absurdity, you can obviously do the Fiendsmith package and all that fun stuff. So, but honestly, I like it as the pure form. Throw a couple little Fiend supporting engines in and all that fun stuff. But yeah, that's it for the profile. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Stay safe and stay healthy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.